Charlie. I don't have anything. Alright, go ahead.
Hello, my name is Charles, and today I would like to talk about an important piece of history. This was discovered by my roommate Kevin's father in 1976 on a trip to Germany. It actually was a piece of the Berlin Wall, and he found it. No one was around. He snatched it. Found out about this years later, but it didn't matter because the wall's down now. So, now in the possession of my roommate Kevin, the Smithsonian Museum recently reached out to him to see if they could borrow it for an exhibit. Kevin said yes. So this has actually been sitting in the National Gallery in the Smithsonian for a couple months now, and we just got it back today. Let me tell you about it. What we have here is Mr. Claus. It was damaged a little bit, so we had to restore it. This was actually done by Kevin himself. He took some creative liberties. Mr. Claus seems to be holding some kind of firearms. Additionally, his arm seems to have been removed at some point, so Kevin had to work around that as best as he could. But I think he restored it beautifully. It almost looks as good as the original. This right here, funny story about that. I'm not telling you though. That's it. That's art.
Does it hold any significant value to you?
To me? Well, I actually think the colors tell a lot about it. See, the red shows Mr. Claus's passion for democracy, for tearing down the Berlin Wall, which eventually did happen. And you see, to me, that's important.
And the hat, I've been told it's to deter aliens from...
Yeah, so that's actually more of an antenna. That wasn't a restored part done by Kevin. That was part of the original model. Exactly as you see it now. Do you have any other stupid questions?
No. That was fascinating, Charlie. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. I'll
The
see you next
entire
week.
3 minutes exactly.
Hello, I'm Charles, and today we're going to talk about another museum exhibit. This is called Bear Man. Bear Man was illustrated by my roommate, Daniel Cleary. We are actually preparing it to be sent out to the Museum of Fine Arts in Boston, where it will be displayed as an exhibit for 3 weeks. Very excited about that. We're just touching it up a little bit, making sure it's good for the museum. Let me tell you about Bear Man. So Bear Man is inspired by a Blue Moon bottle of beer. He is filled with beer all the way through. In his arms, in his little legs, which proportionally to his arms seem rather unrealistic, but that's okay because he's a cartoony character. Bear Man isn't real. What Daniel is doing is actually drawing something that is completely unrealistic, yet fantastical in a way that maybe we can relate to it. Maybe we can feel as if it is real. If you look closely, you can see that he does have armpit hair, and that was one of Daniel's ways of making Bear Man a little more relatable.
Kind of humanizing him.
Of course, because even though he seems so majestic, so wonderfully powerful, and unattainable, this is maybe something that all men work towards without feeling bad about themselves by comparing themselves to Bear Man. If you look, he actually didn't write all of the word blue moon. You may think that's just a matter of perspective, but it actually was done on purpose because he didn't want to get some kind of copyright claim. The final thing I want to talk about is the fact that Bear Man actually is holding a small beer bottle. And Daniel never has explained that. That is completely interpretive. We don't know if that is part of him, if it's his baby, or if he's just drinking a beer. There are a lot of questions to be raised.
Well, that's really neat, Charlie.
Thank you.
Thank you for your 2 minutes and 30 seconds. So you like Tums?
Tums, yes, I do like Tums. Hello, I'm Charles. So I'm going to be talking about a piece of art that is very personal to me. This actually, a couple years ago, was being displayed at the Museum of Modern Art in New York City. But we got it back. It was only displayed for a couple hours. And they didn't send it back until today. So let me talk about it. If you have any questions.
Well, you made fried eggs.
I
That-
sure did.
That doesn't seem very exciting. Why would that be exciting?
Well, you see, the thing is, I didn't write any of these things myself. In fact, I'm not completely sure who did. Sometimes when I do things, I guess certain people determine that they may be more exciting than other things I do in my life, and they just kind of appear on here. I can say with certainty that the fried eggs I made weren't amazing, but they were good. And perhaps that is exciting to some people.
Alright. Ant-Man is a Marvel character, correct?
He is.
And
Probably one of the worst ones.
so the most recent thing, exciting thing that you've done, is you actually broke Ant-Man. Now I've seen Ant-Man and Ant-Man and the Wasp, and there's no way you broke Ant-Man.
Yeah,
So-
see, I'm actually very confused about this one. And it seems the writer is as well. He actually put a question mark on it. It's the only one that is displayed in the form of a question. So, I'll be honest, I don't know if this is some kind of prediction or premonition of an upcoming event. I don't even know what this means if you break Ant-Man. Does that mean like I broke his spirits, his integrity? I don't know if it's referring to the real Ant-Man. It's referring to some kind of model of his suit perhaps. Or even worse, if it's just referring to Paul Rudd. And if I were to break Paul Rudd, that I would break my own heart. So
You break a lot
I'm
of hearts.
concerned about this one.
Alright.
And I hope it's not something I really did.
So this is a piece of art that's been being actively worked on for a couple of years now, and
Yes.
you've only done 20 exciting things in 2 years.
In the eyes of those who add to it, yes.
Yeah, but I believe that art imitates reality, so realistically 20 things.
It's as if the purpose of this entire piece is to show that my life isn't that exciting. And maybe that was the message displayed. As if it's sort of a form of satire.
Well,
You
That's-
see, what's interesting is it notes that I turned 20. And even though I did turn 21 in this time span, that is not considered an exciting thing.
so anyone can write on this?
I can't myself, but anyone else can.
Very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Add stuff in the comments if you know Charlie. If you don't know Charlie, feel free to add things because there's probably a way to swing it, and it's probably true in some way because Charlie is an interesting little man. What's behind the curtain, Charlie?
Hello, I'm Charles, and today we're going to be discussing this piece.
Do you care to tell us more about this?
Yep, this is called Who Killed Hannibal? And what's going on here is everyone's house has put a different answer for the possible hypothesis of who the perpetrator is. For me, I put Matman, also known as Matt. Matman is my good friend and the person filming this video. I think that he killed Hannibal, and thus I wrote that. My roommate Kyle wrote Chloe, my girlfriend, with a heart. Trevor, who's right over there, wrote Ben 10. His name is Benjamin Tennyson, the protagonist of a popular show that was on Cartoon Network. He's listening to us right now and judging us.
Fuck you, Charlie.
I actually think he also wrote
Ben 10 or Chloe, my girlfriend?
yeah, which is interesting, because if he wrote that, that wouldn't be true. Chloe's not his girlfriend.
And who is Meekman?
Yeah, so anyway, the last one, Dan, he wrote Fruit of the Loom. An interesting hypothesis. I'm going to be honest, probably the most realistic.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for your time, Charlie.
Yeah. We're preparing for this to be viewed at the Museo Nacional del Prado in Madrid.
So we're getting a sneak peek right now.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, awesome. Thanks.